Yeah.
God be with you.
I'd like to make
So what are you interested?
proper bath.
That can be your...
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll... May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
Yeah.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not?
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
honored that you should come to me.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the master fresco painter. He said you sent him away empty-handed 3 times already.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon, directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was, without a crest, armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery, that they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
Farewell.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Right.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
Not yet.
Maybe it would be worth the time.
I'll go and see.
Have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapota.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
God be with you.
Oh!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Looking for someone.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone. Which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today, The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest, as though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
He owes me money.
Naturally. Dice or boozing, was it? Pray do tell.
Both.
Sodom and Gomorrah are too good for the boy. Here you go. I'll dock his wages.
Thank you, Master. You're most kind, but I'd rather get it from him myself.
If you think he'll have anything to give, please yourself. About your question, you'll find him at home, no doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bath-maid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Take care now.
What do you want from me now?
I hear you're at odds with apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to...
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another fine... I won't say what.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got.
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive?
I'd like to know more about the kidnapping.
Goodbye.
God be with you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dies for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That scum took her right out of the bathhouse.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapota. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapota?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapota waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dies?
They wear out over time. And they have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then, when they snatched Esther, there was nothing to be done.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go. I hope you get revenge. Take care.
I know you.
What?
Of course, my dream. You were...
All right.
That dream. Yes, that dream has...
And that's supposed to be me.
Oh, well. What's your name, young man?
No.
Henry. So, Henry.
What exactly does it entail, becoming your apprentice?
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic.
Nothing to it.
That's why God has... Wonderful! Oh!
So...
With a test,
Oh.
I have my eye on...
But just so we're clear, I'm not stealing anything for you.
Who said anything about stealing?
You said these are valuable things you're after.
Valuable for me because I know their power and strength.
Oh.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck from a passionate player.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. About that tooth.
I know. Yes, it would.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery, and it just so happened.
How did you find...
As
And how...
I haven't the faintest idea.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from Procopius of Sasau, then I'm cheating nobody.
Does it really matter who...
Of course it does. The name...
Fine.
Wonderful.
I'll get looking...
Excellent.
Will you teach me how...
Certainly.
I'm interested in...
Wouldn't you rather...
Well...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun sets out across the skies. He loses his...
Good health, dear.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master Otter.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots, and that his son will see him off.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
That will be all. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't.
I'm looking for pieces of a sword that a pilgrim from the Holy Land was selling.
I would.
Well?
It's a load of tripe. Only a fool would have given that trickster a single groschen.
But if he lied about that sort of stuff...
Don't be so...
Do you pull...
Oh, it doesn't give me any... Bring him in. I'll be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Surrender! You've
Yeah.
committed a violation. You're under arrest. Don't move a muscle. Come on then, horse son. Don't move a finger.
Ugh.
Surrender
You-
now. Hear me? Gotcha. Now I'll fix you good and...
What?
Don't play games with me. I know full well about the assaults you committed. You should have thought twice about...
Are you...
If that's how you want...
All right.
You paid for your... And hand over...
Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed Sir Sebastian.
You don't seem to think...
Well, of course I do. Come on with it.
What is the cust...
Well,
But...
in fact, he seems more interested in what...
I'm much obliged. You look bored.
Beyond it.
How can you be bored here in Sasau?
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the book. Me!
Well, they say there's not much left.
What's that got?
I'm not blaming you. It's just that
Folk were even taking relics away from St. Procopius' cave for protection before.
I know.
Maybe I could help.
How?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it. Of course.
Then I'll be very grateful.
Farewell.
Yeah. Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes? Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us. Certainly. We can all... And it's been like...
I was in a bad way myself back then. How's it?
Holding up. People here are dying. Usually we don't have enough food or space.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars or...
Scholars, maybe, but they...
Can I have a look at them myself?
Do you now? And what would you do if you...
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of...
And how are you doing?
Some of the monks speak to me. Too bad the custodian is...
Is the custodian?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that...
And,
What do you mean, what else?
I could do something about it.
No. I can deal with him. The last thing I need...
What can you tell me about...
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery, and that's why he probably thinks...
Doesn't the monastery...
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe.
Maybe if I brought some meat.
That...
Anything else?
Look around.
Well, it is a little
Crowded. I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. I tried that. Out loud. They...
All right.
Look, Henry, last week Bohuslav died. Maybe we desperately...
I'll do whatever's in... Everything here is fine?
Christ!
What are you making...
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to... Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning...
Maybe I can make you...
Oh, then for... Good luck to you. I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own. Philip... From Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
What are the...
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian could set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help?
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it.
And do you remember what the...
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place.
I'll try to find...
Thank you.
God be with you.
What the...
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies.
occasionally.
Well, that's no use. I've got bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then. God be with you.
Everything here is fine. These wounds have been well taken care of. These wounds have been well taken care of. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka.
Henry.
I won't get any sleep.
What's wrong with that man by the altar?
I just won't get any
He
sleep.
doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God! There has...
And what do you suggest?
Well, I can try.
You?
I'll give it a go. It's not like I...
So you don't know anything? Don't even think of...
I'll go and take...
Goodbye.
You're the one who's in charge.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here.
Monks so old they can't hold them.
Oh, if that were the... But I shouldn't talk like that. Would you teach me? Certainly.
I'd like to practice.
All right. Now.
Do you know anything about...
I'm not an expert, but I know a little...
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs.
How about some
Certainly.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers, and sometimes that's the only way to...
Thanks. I'd like to learn something. A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to me...
Of course.
You don't look the part. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there.
Clear.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelion. Those plants have their...
I see.
Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up...
Don't worry. You've never... What happened to...
Philip?
He's unconscious.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came, then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness.
Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other.
How
is that possible? You're the
But I have no say in how... And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care...
And the local custodian?
I tried him, but it seems he had...
I can't believe...
I know.
Can't you do anything?
Unfortunately not. And the custodian has enough on his plate with the...
Get any sleep. I just
Even
won't get
so...
any sleep.
You're not the only...
How are the wounds?
Some of the others are done. It's a good thing we have Johanka here.
So you don't normally...
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg.
If only it had been a...
You were there? God be merciful.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to you?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However...
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith. But I have been around the wounded before.
Come and speak to me.
What do you think about...
Baron von Berg? Well, the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his
I heard he's been...
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka.
Thank you.
Would you teach me... Certainly.
I'm interested in...
Wouldn't you rather...
Well...
Sleep again.
God be with you.
can't. I just can't.
May the Lord watch over.
Quiet! I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep.
I feel quite hungry.
I can't sleep again.
Just calm.
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this, and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you. Farewell.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm helping at the infirmary now.
Ah, and how is your...
Yes, I do.
Good, good.
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz.
Well, that's not my problem.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't...
And why should that interest me?
Because I'll pay you.
For supplies?
Oh, come off it. You get your supplies from the monastery for free. Blankets can get chewed up by mice.
Yes, these things happen, certainly. And take care now.
God's name is he up to?
Hey, you've no business here. Clear off, or you'll be sorry. What's with you?